and welcome.
Hello.
This is my friend Rayna. I am Raven. This is Bear, and Rayna is our special guest to kick off this new series called Been There, Done That Travel Stories. Bear and I have come up with 9 questions. It's the same questions that we're going to ask everybody, but the stories are going to be vastly different. So we want to welcome Rayna to the channel. So hello. Rayna and I share a desk at work. Like we couldn't be any closer.
Yep. It's so much fun.
It's so much fun. I know. I'm going to start leaving you like little secret notes and like little snaps and things. You're going to be like, you're going to come in on Tuesdays and be like, what did she do on Monday?
Oh, that's fun. I love it.
She's going to get your lunchbox notes.
I used to get the lunchbox notes when I was working.
Yeah.
Yes. Love it.
Well, welcome. Rayna, I said that we're colleagues. We work as travel agents at the same travel agency, Anywhere But Here Travel. We've put links down in the description box below, and as this is no longer live, it will upload, and you'll be able to see all of the different links on where to find everybody and what we're doing and all of that. But without further ado, we're going to start with the questions, and we're going to let the conversation flow. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, number 1. Where did you go?
Yes, I did a big trip in May with 2 of my other fellow agents. And it's a trip that I've been wanting to take for a long time. We did Southeast Asia. The 3 places that we went were Thailand, Bali, and South Korea.
Oh boy. Okay. Now I have more questions, but I know yes. I've asked all of those questions while we were in the office. I still wanted to get you alone just to talk about all the things that I saw that you posted, and I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. Did you go by yourself or did you go with a group? You kind of answered that.
Yeah, and I can elaborate. I started with just the 3 of us. We started in Thailand in Bangkok, and that was our first stop. We were there for 3 days. And then we flew to Phuket and we met up with a group of people. And so we were with a larger group, maybe about 20 people altogether. We did Phuket, which is also Thailand, and we all flew to Bali. We did Bali together. And then the last leg of the trip, which was South Korea, that was back to the 3 of us, and we added one of the group people decided to join us for that last leg in Seoul.
Did you know all those people, or did you just they were part of another tour group and you joined up with them?
Correct. Yeah, I didn't know any of the people. Andrea, who was with us, she knew a few of the people she had met before in other trips like that. So that was my first time meeting these people, one of which she actually lives in Auburn. So, nice she had ties. Yeah, nice and close. But everyone else was kind of scattered. Yeah.
Right. I know when I travel, one of the things I really do enjoy is meeting new people, even if they're other Americans from other parts of the country. And they always get a slightly different perspective on the exact same trip you're on. So, you'll be taking a break at a cafe or back on a bus or on the train or on a boat or whatever. And you can sit there and discuss it, and it adds more dimension to the trip for me.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah. And we had a wide range of ages. So the person in Auburn, she's a bit younger, in her 30s. And then we had somebody who was a mom of one of the other people who's probably in her, I would say, late 60s and mid 70s. So we had a wide range. It was all women in our group, but we had a wide range of ages and abilities. And so it was really nice to get that full experience with everyone and get to meet everyone and learn about them.
I think it's good for people to hear that so that they know when they're traveling, it's not just going to be people of one certain age. Because I think some of the misnomer about travel, it's only retirees that are doing it. And it's really not, especially not this day and age. There's a wide variety of people traveling. So when you go out there and travel, you're not just going to be with a 78-year-old. You're also going to be with 20-somethings and 30-somethings and 40-somethings. There's going to be people your age, older and younger. And a lot of times you can find somebody that you really enjoy their company while you're doing the trips.
Absolutely.
And I love seeing the younger people getting out there and, setting not only time aside, but putting their money aside, having a savings or whatnot that they're doing just to get out there so they can start as soon as possible. It's a vast world.
And then you see the excitement in their eyes towards the end of the trip. I got to figure out how I'm going to do this next trip because I had so much fun.
They get to travel bitten. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this next one is a little bit of a did you go by land, sea, or air, and how was that experience? I think what we're wanting to know is that is a large trip, and I'm sure that you did several multiple facets in the way you traveled. But how was that experience? Were there certain lines of airfare, airlines or whatnot that you chose to use, or ones that you decided not to?
Yeah. So it was mostly flights. I would say lots of flights. And because it is Asia, it's very long flights. So get prepared for nice long flights. We flew Delta Airlines into Seoul. Okay. And then we had a layover in Seoul to get to Thailand. So Seoul was kind of our in-between point between the States and Asia. And then we did fly, I believe, Korean Air to Thailand. I'm trying to think. We may have flown Air Asia from Thailand to Bali. And then maybe, if I'm remembering right, Korean Air back to Seoul and Delta back. So we did use probably, I would say, 3 different airlines. Delta, of course, is the big universal easy airline. Korean Air was not too bad. Air Asia, a little bit different. And when you're booking those kinds of flights with those smaller Asian airlines, they're just a little bit different. They definitely had restrictions, like luggage weight restrictions. And so we were always measuring our weight of our luggage. And if it was a little bit too heavy, we had to pay extra. And that was very easy to do, though, within their apps, to go in and say, this is how heavy my luggage is. And then I just had to pay, the extra before I got there. So one handy little thing that one of our other agents had was this little thing that you strap around the handle and you lift it and it tells you how heavy your luggage is. That's a must if you're going to be traveling, anywhere where they have these kinds of restrictions. And definitely Asia is like that, where they have those kinds of restrictions.
That's really good to know.
Did you find those other airlines that have smaller seating space?
Yeah. Yes, for sure. There was one flight that, and I'm 5'7", and, mostly with like Delta or whatever, I still have a good amount of knee room. Well, this one flight, my knees were right up against the seat in front of me. Luckily, it was just a few, luckily it was just a few hours flight. And this may have been the Bangkok to Phuket, the short one. That was the shortest of all the flights. And so it was like, not a big deal. It was a couple hours, but yeah, definitely the seats can be smaller on those Asian airlines.
Well, that leads us straight into the next question.
No, I think we need one more before we get there.
What?
Where are you at?
I'm right here, number 3.
I want to ask about accommodation.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you, while obviously you were in multiple hotels, being in 3 countries, but in each country, did you have like a base, or were you bouncing nightly to different spaces?
For this particular trip, it wasn't what we call like hub and spoke, where you're in one place and you go out and do, your different things. Because the majority of the trip with the big group, we were all agents. And so this was a agent trip, meaning that we were inspecting and touring different resorts and taking different tours and getting the whole idea of what a trip would look like in Asia. So we were going to multiple locations based on what we're looking at. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, those trips are not for the week.
Right.
I'm telling you now.
Did you see a big difference in each of those countries? Like, not necessarily, all of them in Korea may have been one way, and all of them in Bangkok could have been different, and Bali could have been different, but were they similar in the same countries, or was there a vast difference in the properties you were staying at?
I think it just depends on the area where you are. So when we went to Phuket, there were two different areas that we went to. One was definitely no, I wouldn't say a lower price point, but it was, and it was a very nice family area. And then we went to the more posh area, and there was definitely a difference. And the resort that we stayed at in the more posh area was right across from a big golf course, and they were actually having a tournament there too. So it was definitely for that, and it was a 5-star resort. So it's definitely for those kind of catered to those kinds of people who travel that way. And the first one that we stayed at was more of like a family, a nice family, 3-star, resort that, that would be adequate for kids with, or, parents with children.
Right on.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next question. When traveling, what's something you can't be without?
Activated charcoal, for sure. Especially if you're traveling in Asia or somewhere, when you go and travel, yes, you have to be mindful of what you're eating, where you're eating, and that. But that's the point of travel, is to try new foods, to try different foods. And, sometimes those new foods might not agree with you, whether they considered not bad, but maybe your, stomach or your intestines is not used to it. So definitely anytime I travel, I always take activated charcoal, because there's nothing worse than being on a trip and, being out a day or 2 or 3 with, something that didn't agree with you.
How do you take it? Now I'm very curious.
Yeah, it's just in pill form. Yeah, you can find it anywhere, any drugstore. Yeah, and you just take a few of those when you first start to not feel well. And let me tell you, you may still not feel well, but you'll recover so much faster.
Got you. Okay, so it basically is absorbing.
It pulls it out. Yeah, It pulls whatever is in there that is not making you feel good out.
Do you take any of these portable straws so that way if you're drinking water, you can just stick one of those in there?
I did not. Somebody else did, but I did not. Most of the time, it's bottled water everywhere you go. Yeah, they're giving you bottled water, or they have bottled water, or we would, go to the little grocery store and get bottled water.
Technically, the bottled water is just tap water from that local area.
Supposedly, it's not supposed to be.
It's supposed to go through a filter system. As long as they've changed their filters, responsibly, then you have safe water.
Are you saying to me that we're taking straws?
If we go to some countries, we're going to take filter straws for that.
Yeah.
That's you.
Yep. Yeah. It would not be a bad idea.
Right.
Because then you'd never have to worry about it.
Well, you still have to worry about ice. You got to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
A lot of people will say, "Oh, I can't have that water, but I do want some ice," and they're not thinking it's the same water.
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
I feel like you've learned your lesson.
I've done a lot of traveling.
I was like, firsthand experience.
So yeah, I think so. Okay. Let's see. You did that. Let's see. Number 5. What was your favorite thing you did while you were there?
I would say when we were in Bangkok, we were with a private guide, which was, I think that's a really great way to do Bangkok. Bangkok is a little crazy from what I hear. We did not experience it because we were with our private guide. So we were driven, to all of the different activities, picked up, dropped off. We were with our guide the whole time.
Okay.
She was amazing. She, one of the mornings we got up and she took us to this flower market. And so in Thailand, they're Buddhist. And so there's a lot of Buddhist temples there. And the Buddhist temples, some are very small, some are much bigger. And they have beautiful sculptures and gold, Buddhas, but they all are active, meaning that people, they're in use. People are going to make offerings, they're meditating, they're praying, they're going through the whole ritual that they do in that religion. Mm-hmm. And so she took us through from the very start, which was going to the flower market, and we got to see where they were making these flowers that people buy to make their offerings. And so she walked us through, we got to see the people making it. And then we got to she helped us pick out our flowers, which all had meaning. The different colors have meaning based on, what you want for yourself or what you wish. And so she helped us, and we purchased our flowers. She brought us to the temple and then took us through the whole process, including going up and kneeling and doing our prayers and our offerings. To at the end, when you come out, we did the lotus on the head and the holy water, and in the, and also the incense and the prayers. And she explained what we were doing the whole way through. And it was just such a beautiful, amazing, I'm just getting goosebumps already just thinking about it again, because it was such an amazing experience. No matter what religion you are, it was just so powerful and just felt just so amazing. I loved it. It was great.
How would that, a feast for the eyes.
Yeah, it was really cool. And just the fact that we were experiencing it the whole way through, it was very cool.
I guess I have a question in regards to how did the locals take, outsiders coming and doing this type of ritual? Was that welcoming? It was a welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. And, they do have their rules, take your shoes off. You don't get to enter in with shoes on. So they have a place for you. Take your shoes off. You have to have, shoulders covered, knees covered. So they have their, just like any kind of, religion has their rules. So they just, make sure that you're following the rules, and it was posted. So you weren't unaware of it. Right. But it is always good to know ahead of time, just so you are prepared that you have something, a shawl or whatever to cover, your shoulders, or you're not just wearing, short shorts, something like that.
Did they have anything there for folks that didn't have those things prepared?
I'm trying to think.
Fabrics and things like that.
Yeah.
So that
There might have been. I don't recall.
You didn't
at the
require
moment.
them, so you didn't know that.
Yeah, we knew ahead of time to make sure. So, and then also our guide, also made sure that we knew ahead of time too.
Otherwise, they would not have been a very good guide.
Right.
That's right. That's right. And that really is the, I'm going to put a little plug in for travel advisors. We let people know ahead of time, hey, if this is what you're going to do, this is what you need to know.
Excuse me.
Did you have a favorite meal during your trips? That trip?
Well, of course, all the food was good. All the food was amazing. Yeah. But I have to say, a favorite meal. Well, I love Asian food. So that was, it was amazing. I don't know if there was one favorite meal, but definitely the resorts that we were at, the breakfast, they came with the resort. Phenomenal. I was just blown away by the choices and the kinds of food and what they had. And it was just amazing. It was fresh fruit, delicious. Yes. But I have to say, as far as a meal goes, the one that I enjoyed the most was when we were in Bali. We did a tour where the tour guide this is when we were with a big group, brought us to this. It was like a cooking school, but it was more than a cooking school, because in Bali, the families there, they just don't have like their own house. They have a whole like compound, if you will. It's kind of a walled in community, and it's just that family, and they're all like that. So you go in and it looks skinny, but it just goes back, and it's just house, 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 house. Right. They have a temple area where they do their prayers and they have their ceremonies, and they do everything there. They have an area up front where this is where grandma and grandpa kind of lay underneath the hut, and they watch watch what everybody's doing, who's coming, who's going, and they have access. The kids and all the family have easy access to grandma and grandpa for whatever advice they need, or, whatever's going on. It was very cool. And so we got to see that whole thing. And they got to experience cooking. So it was a cooking class. We all were participating in traditional Balinese cooking, and we had recipes, and they showed us all, the ingredients, and we were all playing a part in, making this essentially was our lunch. So that to me was the best because we all put into it, together. We all worked together and we cooked. It was just phenomenal.
I know it can be really controversial to talk about when you're talking to clients about going and visiting other countries when it comes to street food. But did you try any street food? Was there anything that just stood out above everything else?
Oh, she did. I saw
we tried.
Instagram posting. Yes, she did. I was just like,
We
girl,
did.
be brave. Girl,
There
be
are
brave.
there are people that want to go on trips that's all they're after.
Yes. There's a lot of street food to be eaten in all of the places that we were at. So we went through, I think every single place we went to some kind of a street, except for Bali. That was the only place where we didn't do like street food. But in Thailand and in Seoul, we did street food and it was phenomenal. Yes. So I did post, I tried, although I have tasted durian in the past. This was like fresh, eat the whole thing durian. And I actually liked it. It was really good.
I'm not sure what durian is. What is durian?
Oh, it's a very stinky fruit that's popular with Vietnamese.
Okay.
Yeah, it's stinky. In fact, it's so stinky that it's forbidden to bring into the hotels. They will fine you if you're caught bringing durian into the hotels. Yes.
It's kind of white and viscousy, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's yellow and it's kind of like
it's all
creamy. Yeah. It's kind of like a creamy. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, it's a little bit stinky. You're like, but actually, it was delicious.
Soursop, like
something like that.
Soursop, yeah, is slightly different. This is the yellow one that's a little stinky.
Stinky.
Or a lot stinky. Let me take that back. It is a lot stinky.
You probably like it with your stinky cheese.
I know. I love me a stinky foot cheese. Like I love.
It's kind of along that line, so you might like it.
Probably would.
I've been told it's kind of like a dairy fruit in a way.
Dairy fruit.
Because it's got that fermented kind of smelly, cheesy thing going on.
Yep.
So look
exactly.
Interesting. Yeah. Very interesting. Okay, next question. Also, I'm sorry, I got a little choked up, literally.
That's right.
Did you make any new connections, people, products, shops? You know how when you travel, like somehow, some way, I always find new skincare whenever I travel, or something.
Well, you said skincare, so that just brought me up to something I just did last night, which was my Korean face mask. Of course, it's the Koreans. They're all about looks. They're all about skincare, cosmetic surgeries. Very big in Seoul. And so of course we, everywhere we went, there's stores for, facial products. So we bought a whole bunch of those, masks you lay on your face and you look hilarious, but I just did one last night. They're amazing.
They're amazing. I have some that I've bought the milky white ones that turn, translucent after a while. Yeah. And I'll tell you, their products are amazing. Their products are just really, really good quality. Yeah. I don't know what us Americans are doing. Like
they have it dialed in for sure.
They have it dialed in. Absolutely.
I earned my wrinkles. You can't take those away.
I will not take them away. I'll keep them.
You can have mine.
I'll take them.
You'll take them.
Make me a Sharpay.
Sharpay pirate. Interesting. Okay, number 8. Did you bring anything back with you?
Yeah. We brought some things back when we were in Bangkok, we did the floating market, which is you're literally in this boat and they're driving you through this market where the people's shops are right up onto the water. And so you kind of pull over and, they have their items that they're selling, food as well, food items, but, like trinkets, statues, a lot of artwork, beautiful artwork, carved items, that kind of thing. So of course we did bring home some mementos, lots of gifts for people. That kind of stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Last question, but I don't feel like it's going to be our last. This is a very interesting trip and we're nosy. But would you do it again?
Yes, actually, I would love to go back because it was such a It was, I mean, even though we were there for almost 2 weeks, or was it maybe even a little over 2 weeks, but I feel like there was so much to see and do, and we just barely touched the surface.
Yeah.
I would love to explore Thailand more. We only hit two places, two very different. One was inner city, big city, and one was, more resort beachy. I would love to do a kind of through Thailand. There's so much, I forget how many hundreds of temples there are in Thailand. And so I would love to explore more of Thailand. Of course, I didn't really get to see very much of Bali. It was more of a go, go, go. Let's, get to see these different places. So again, Bali would be a great one. And then I loved Korea. I loved South Korea. It was such an amazing city. It's metropolitan, but it's so different in the way that they just have a different thinking about cleanliness and respect for, not dirtying up the place. So like literally there was no garbage. Like when we were in the middle of the city, we did not see garbage on the ground anywhere. In fact, there's no garbage cans. They removed all the garbage cans because they found that made it messier. So people just hang on to their garbage and they take it home. And you don't see people dropping. I mean, even when we were walking through the food market, there was no garbage on the ground. Nothing on the ground. It's amazing. Yeah, it's incredible.
How does that work out for travelers that can't take trash home? Where do they?
Yeah. Well, anytime we walked into the hotel, if we had a cup or something, from a drink, the concierge person right there would say, "Oh, I can take that for you," Yeah, or we take it back to the hotel room.
That's your home. Back to your place.
Yep. But yeah, it was great. And Seoul, we found to be just so friendly and safe. We just felt very safe. One of the nights we were kind of walking around and they were doing this big thing at their library, and it was a very big library, but on this big grassy area, they just had all these like inflatable couches, and people were just hanging out reading books. They had put out books all over this grassy area, and a little bit down the hill, there's a stream that goes through, and they lined up and they put little chairs and little lights and little books. And so everybody was just sitting along the water, reading their books, talking, and they had lovely light. I mean, it was so cool. And I mean, the books were just out there. Nobody was worried about stealing anything or, wrecking anything. It was just, they just have such a respect for each other and for, things. And we just felt safe, and it was lovely.
Was there anywhere on your trip that you didn't feel safe? Did you have any experiences at all that you shared?
Yeah, I would say no. But when you travel in Bangkok, just be smart about it. We heard a story of people who kind of got pulled into, hey, come in to see this show or whatever, kind of a thing. And it was, a little bit like, oh, we want to leave. Oh no, we have to pay us to leave, kind of a thing. So you just have to be mindful, in the bigger city like that, which is why, I mean, if you're adventurous and if you know ahead of time how to travel, you can do it on your own. I felt very safe with our guide and our driver. So I think that, in the bigger cities, you have to be, you just have to know how to travel and be street smart, about it. But otherwise, it didn't feel not safe at all, and I didn't feel safe because I had the guide, but, it was definitely, it was nice to be led someplace and know that they know where we're going, and we have a ride coming to pick us up at this, destination.
Right on. What about public restroom areas in these different countries?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, it's very different. Let me tell you. Yeah,
Sure.
It is different. Yeah. And Thailand, it's just different. So one of the stops there, she like handed us the guide when we stopped. We said we have to go to the bathroom, and she handed us tissue paper, toilet paper, because there was none in the bathroom. Yes. So we had to bring our own, and you walked in, and the stalls on the right had little water sprayers. That's how they wash, and a toilet. And the side on the left was just a hole where you squat. So, and a little bucket of water. So,
Boy.
Yeah, just know that it is different there. And a lot of places too. I mean, we are so blessed and we don't know how fortunate we are to have, really good sewer systems, right? So when you travel to places like Asia, or even I experienced this in South America or Central America, you don't flush toilet paper no matter what. You
Really?
wipe, you throw it into the garbage can right next door. So yeah, no, there's no flushing of toilet paper because their septic systems or their, sewer, they just can't process or filter it. And that is, yeah, can you exactly, can you spare a square? Definitely bring, I actually did bring my own little roll of toilet paper. I didn't need to use it because I was very, especially in like Korea, it's all about the bidets. All of the hotels have bidets. So they're very much into that. Yes. And also the other places, they had a little sprayer, you pull it off to the side, you use the sprayer. So there's a lot of that. Oh, they do have toilet paper there too, but hey, I was all about, let's use this water. Let's do it. So
do it.
When in Rome or Asia.
Okay, I will welcome anybody who's in the chat that may want to ask a question. You're welcome to do that. And I'll pop it up on the screen for Miss Rayna. But where are you planning to go next?
So no big planned things yet, but where I would like to go next is definitely, I would like to go back to Asia, and I would like to do Vietnam and Singapore. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I would like to spend more time in those areas and explore more, because I just really am enamored by the Asian culture, the people, the scenery, and the food, for sure, the food. So that's not yet planned, but definitely the next, kind of big one that I would like to do.
I love it.
Out of those three, which do you think was your favorite, that you would definitely go back to one of those and have, say, a week or two in one spot, stay at the same hotel, and just venture out from that point? Which
that would be Thailand. Yeah.
Thailand. Okay.
Thailand. Yeah.
Is it because you only got to go to the two places?
Yeah, definitely. And the people in Thailand, they're so gracious and so nice. Everywhere you go, you learn to say how to say thank you. Everyone, they bow and they say, thank you. And that's everywhere you went, just so gracious. And let me tell you, a $12 Thai massage can't beat that. Can't beat that. We got several. We had a 2-hour massage, and that one was a little bit more expensive. It was like $60 for 2 hours. And it was phenomenal. And let me tell you, they're petite women, and holy cow, they can really get you. They can really get oh yeah.
They are small but mighty.
Small but mighty. Yeah.
Elaine's got a question for you. What is the minimum amount you'd recommend to visit Thailand?
Yeah, it really does.
Money.
Yeah, it does depend on time. Yeah. It depends on what you want to experience. Because they have the big city, Bangkok. They have, through the countryside. And then they have like Phuket, which is down in the southern end, and that's your resorty beachy area. So, what do you want to experience? Now, if you want to do the whole going through the country, which is pretty long, I would definitely say more than, 2+ weeks. Right. Or if you just want to fly, you want to experience one and then experience the other, I would say no less than 10 days. Right. Because you're flying such a long way to get there. You really want to, enjoy before you even think about getting on that flight for another 17-hour flight, back. And that's what it was with 2 different flights. It was 17 plus, with layovers and whatnot, flights. So they're long flights for sure.
And you're dealing with the international date line as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
yep. Oh, it was brutal coming back.
Did you have to, how long do you think it took you to acclimate, at least halfway acclimate? You're not going to be fully acclimated, but to acclimate to the time change. Did you have to spend half a day or a day with jet lag?
Going there was much easier. Yeah, I didn't feel like I really had to acclimate going there. And I also tried to change my sleep cycle as like maybe a day or two beforehand. So I was taking caffeine at certain times and then not at times, and no light at certain times. So there's an app that I tried, time shifting app that I tried, and tell it, you put in there where you're going, how many days you're in each place. Yeah. And then it would tell you, it had like a script, okay, now at this time on this day, you put on your, eye mask, no light, try to sleep, take some melatonin. So I feel like that maybe had helped me, but going there was easier. Coming back, I tried to do that. But when you're on vacation, you don't want to 2 days before start to try to change your sleep, cycle. You're just go until you get on the plane. So I didn't do it as much on the way back. And then just with the time change, coming back was much, much harder. And it took me a couple of days for sure. And I did all the things, as soon as I got back home, I went outside and I went for a walk, got my sunshine, tried to stay on, this time sleeping schedule. But it, like, physically, I could feel it. I was more exhausted, more tired. So it definitely took a few days for me to feel back to normal, coming this way. And other people, I think it took longer.
So those are really, really good points. One, that's a great tip with, setting yourself up for success by prepping your time frame before you go, and then knowing you're going to need some recoup time when you get back.
Yeah.
And I think
I would definitely give yourself a few days.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good points.
Yeah, I know reentry can be very difficult, and trying to get back into like work schedule on top of it. It's hard. I know it's hard, and I know it's so it's rough. Well, you're retired. I gotta work.
You use that 4-letter word.
I know. Work. You better work. Somebody's gonna work.
Yeah, I would definitely, when you're booking your time, your vacation time, those 2 days after your vacation should be part of the vacation time.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that we have messed that up. This one, coming back from the UK, the very first time I ever jumped the pond, coming back, he just wanted every moment he could possibly get, and he was in charge of the flights. I had to report to work with like less than 3 hours of sleep. Coming back, I was a zombie. I was an absolute zombie, and I
shouldn't do that.
Yeah, no, I shouldn't do that. It
worked out fine for me.
Yeah, because you're Oh, that was interesting. Okay, well, thank you very much for that. Now, tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, of course. So, of course, I'm a travel advisor with Anywhere But Here Travel, located in Lynnwood, Washington. Even though we're a brick and mortar, you can come by and see us in Lynnwood. We work with everybody, anywhere. And then also on the other side, I am a health and wellness coach. And so my travel definitely is wellness inspired. And so as a health and wellness coach, I love the travel aspect of it. And that also I do virtually, so I can work with anyone, anywhere.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful. Oh gosh, I was going to say this. What types of things do you do in regards to that coaching? Like, tell me a little bit more about what you do on the wellness aspect.
Yeah. So I help people with whatever kind of changes they want to make in their lives. And even if they aren't sure, if they just think, I could be healthier. What does that even mean? I help them navigate what that means for them. So I don't tell people what to do, when to do, how to do it. I help them explore what they want to do, what they feel like wellness is to them. And if there's certain areas in their lives that they want to improve in that wellness plan, or they've been told by a doctor, you need to make these changes, I help them navigate that so they can incorporate those changes into their life based on what they know to be true in their own lives, because everyone is the expert of their own lives. They are the expert of their own bodies. And so I just help bring that out. Like, as an expert, what does that mean for you? And I help them navigate how to implement that into their lives. And then I help them with the whole process of actually living that, wellness plan.
What a beautiful approach that is. Because, I mean, anybody who's been around for a moment, when you're told to do something, the nature is to fight it. The nature is like, I got it, I'll figure it out. But when you're the only one that's going to make the decision, you're the only one to have the power to make said change and to do it in such a gentle and loving way. I can imagine that there's great success in that for that person.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know what? We definitely are. All of us have our own autonomy. You know, we all want to be in charge of ourselves. We don't want to be told, like you said, what to do. And a lot of people kind of give that power away. You know, they give it away to their doctors, or they give it away to people they see on social media, you know, help them realize that you're in control of yourself, you're in control of your body. You have all of the knowledge and the wisdom that you really do need. If we just got to kind of dig it out of there, it's in there, and then help them explore, you know, and design their wellness plan.
It sounds like you give them the tools and empower them instead of doing that old thing where you shake a finger at them.
Yeah, that's right.
Nobody
that's right.
For that, so
nobody does. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, or they pretend to, and then
they just placate you and leave and go back to eating the pizza and smoking 3 packs of cigarettes a day. And whatever. So, instead of, you've got this, what you got to do is the steps and yada. You give them the tools to be able to make their own correct choices.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. Any closing thoughts for you?
I just, you know, I really highly encourage, like you said, travel. Travel is one of the best things for people to do for their wellness plan. Like it needs to be a part of their wellness plan, because travel, it exposes you to other people, to their culture, to their foods, and it helps you see that, you know, there may be differences between you and me, but there's so many things that are the same. There's so many things that, you know, connect us. And it really, when we make those connections, you know, with other people and within ourselves, that heightens your health, right? That makes you healthier. That makes you smarter. It makes your brain grow. It does all these good things for your body. So, I mean, travel and wellness, everybody needs to be traveling. It's just such a good thing for people.
Absolutely.
It is. It's good body, mind, and soul. It really is.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think that's why we do what we do. We just want to see everything. We just want to meet all the people, see all the things. I don't know about try all the food. I might be a little bit of a wimp on it.
Well, you'll just have to travel with me, and I will help you explore that. I'll get you to do something that you wouldn't normally do.
I am a different person in my travel body than I am, or my travel mind than I am at home. Definitely different person. Yes, please travel with me, because I'm a lot of fun.
At home, she's very much a creature of habit. We're out traveling, everything's different. She don't have those things.
Yeah, I don't have the weight of the world or the responsibilities holding me down. So I'm like, what can I tackle? I love it.
Good.
Absolutely love it. Oh, well, I thank you so much for coming on. I really, really appreciate your time here. It's been awesome listening to you answer these questions. I thank you for being the very first one in this series. And if there's another trip that you have going on and you want to come on and share it, you are welcome to do so. I give you the green light to come on back.
Okay, I will after I go to Vietnam.
Okay, sounds good. It sounds good. Well, everybody have a wonderful time out there, wherever you are in the world. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're growing our channel. And for Bear's birthday, he just turned the big 60. I promised him to take him to the 7 Seas. So we are going to travel the 7 Seas and come along with us. Who
knows how long it'll take.
Who knows? We're going to make it happen, though. We're going to make it happen. So, yeah, thank you for joining us, and many blessings to all of you out there.
Thank you. Y'all go out there and explore the cultures of the world. Enjoy yourself.
Enjoy yourselves. Yeah. Absolutely. You stay right there, Rayna. Everybody else, good night.
Good night.